Hey, so this is Ryan Melton from OpenC3. Today I am here with Nate Hamet, the CEO of Quindar, and one of our great sponsors for the Space Software Summit coming up this October. So enough about me. Let's pass it off to Nate. Tell us a little about yourself and Quindar and what you guys have going on.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. So I'm Nate Hamet, CEO of Quindar. So Quindar sees satellites as flying servers in space, and we provide the ground software to keep them up and running. And so the Quindar platform provides orbit determination, propagation, maneuver planning, mission planning, so the two sides of that, reserving antennas, but then also what do you want to do during the contact, integrating with C2 systems like OpenC3, and then the event management. How do we actually recover from anomalies that occur in the system? So it's an end-to-end workflow for operations so that our customers can focus on why they started the company, which is to get their data, whether that's Earth observation data and images, or whether it's RPO and station keeping with satellites to increase their lifetime. We want our customers to be focusing on that core principle versus the operation stack that is core to every single satellite mission, but it's the same first principles for all these missions. You need to figure out where a satellite was, where it's going, how it's going to get there, what are you going to do, and then the reason humans are on console. What do you do when something goes wrong, or how do you plan for the week? How do you plan for the weekend? That's where Quindar comes in to really automate out what we're doing. So we work with both commercial and government customers. So we started back in March of 2022. We work with a few commercial customers right now. I think we manage about 8 satellites in orbit right now. That'll quickly expand at the end of this year. And next year, we're looking to help scale one of our largest customers, which will be super exciting. So beyond the commercial side of it, we're all working with the DoD and on the US side. And so taking this dual use technology and the TRL that we have with the commercial customers and making sure that the US government can also get use of the hybrid operations and bus management that Quindar provides.
For sure. I know I saw you guys talk about recently adding an AI system to your product. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so that kind of goes all the way down to the user, what is the user doing? And so we see rooms with folks, from NASA and other programs. You see the Mission Operations Center, you see the people in the room, and the core of the problem that we're trying to solve is, what are they doing? Why are they there? Why are humans needed? And so there's only so much that you can automate. You can automate receiving a TLE or an EFEM and figuring and propagating it and figure out where you're going and the antenna visibilities. A lot of that is first principles, can be automated. But then space is hard. When there's a single event upset, why is a human looking at the screen saying something's wrong? I didn't hear my satellite. And so we had one of these anomalies with a customer the other week, and so there's a checkbook or a procedure list that you should go down when trying to figure out why you missed a contact with the satellite. And so some of this is tribal knowledge, unfortunately. So it's from shift hand down to the next shift is maybe the person on the previous shift saw the characteristics, but they didn't hand it down to the person on the next shift, or didn't describe it well enough. And so there's that level of intelligence of learning of oh, hey, this has happened in the past. And so what we released is the Quindar chatbot. And so what this provides is our customers to use queries, natural language processing, to ask the system for information, to write code snippets. So it's like a code pilot for integrating with the API, down to as simple as, I don't understand this certain feature set. Can you help me understand where I can plan a task, for example? And so it's trying to bring that level of intelligence of why humans are having conversations on the floor, and instead talking with the system itself for that.
Cool. So kind of a built-in help and also a built-in automation layer of some sort.
Yeah, and the way that's going to go is you'll be able to configure the system just by chatting with the system too. So it'll be a much quicker configuration and time to operations.
Okay. I'll give you the classic, why Quindar? Why you versus whatever else is out there?
Yeah, to be honest, our biggest competition is people building it in-house. That's just typically what's been done. And honestly, when people build it in-house, they're using third-party software, and they're really just managing middleware. That's what they're doing, is they're managing infrastructure and they're managing middleware. And so, where Quindar comes into play is the event workflows, the end-to-end workflows of what you need to do during mission operations. The nominal case, and then the inevitable off-nominal case. And so those workflows, propagate the flight dynamics, mission planning, command and control portions of mission operations to the, what are my mission rule sets? It's like, if I see something, maybe I have two GPS units on board, one of them goes out, like it's done, it's dead. Like, what is my mission rule set? And that might be, well, if you only have one GPS left on board, you're going to deorbit your satellite to keep space clean. And so, that type of end-to-end workflow, even from the TTPs or the mission rules that commercial customers have, is Quindar is able to automate and a lot of that, so that you can focus on your bus uptime instead of the folks that you need to manage the infrastructure, the cost of the infrastructure, the software developers to create all of that middleware, the inevitable mission operations folks that are 24/7. If your software stack isn't strong, you're probably going to put more people in front of it, and that really increases a lot of costs. And then you have to worry about managing a software team when you started the company to create a satellite for the highest resolution imagery possible. And so that's what we provide our customers is you don't have to manage the middleware anymore. There's a utility to be able to manage that stack.
Sure. All right. So obviously we're here because you're sponsoring the summit. Tell us about what you're excited about for the summit coming up.
Yeah, especially for SaaS and for software. I mean, I'm excited that there is a summit focused on software. Software is usually kind of like background noise, and you walk into a conference exhibit and it's the antennas and the satellite mocks, and those are awesome. But there's software that runs all of that. And so when it comes to focusing on the software, and where we are today in age, where AI is a big tool that can be used from the development phase all the way into space right today, is how is software enabling the future aerospace ecosystem. And then with any software that we use today outside of space, there's integrations, there's partnerships. That's the power of software. And so meeting folks who have common interfaces, sources and syncs that can enable the end customer to have the best experience possible. I mean, I think just going back to it is, one, a conference that talks about the software enablement, two, to meet folks who are building other areas of software for integrations and to enable that customer experience. I think those are the main two things that I'm really looking forward to in the summit.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for everyone who's just discovering the summit, it's going to be October 6th through 8th in Boulder at the end of this fall. 3 days, 1 day of workshops, 2 days of talks. It's going to be all software, as Nate hinted. No hardware, no thrusters, all software, but all topics. So this isn't just a ground software conference or a flight software conference. This is the whole stack, from ground to flight to open source to CI/CD pipelines to AI/ML to innovation and research that's being done in the industry. So this is going to be an awesome opportunity for everyone who's involved in space and software to get together in one place and collaborate and find, like you said, those sources and syncs, ways that we can work together, take something valuable home, and learn from each other. So I'm super excited. Thanks for chatting with us here, Nate. Everyone check out Quindar, and we'll see you in October at the summit.
See you at the summit, everyone.